Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So yesterday, I'll just give you a quick recap of what happened yesterday. I gave an update about the smoothing pool and about how the team was happy about how Redstone went through and a launch for Swell and how it's getting minimal traction so far and how that was a good discussion about that and about how Maso talked to Masari and relationships and incentives that are coming together and more relationships and incentives. So I've been talking about incentives a lot this week, so there isn't much talk about incentives today, so I'll save you guys that. So let's get started on today's updates. The first one, we have this update from Joe. It's a couple of quick announcements he says that he has to get through. The first one is a new Nimbus version, which is version 28.8.1, which is a very high priority update required for the merge. So I'm on Nimbus, so I'll be updating my client today. Joe says that there should be another one coming through next week as well, but just update to this now. But the smart node stack will be updated next week, but you can manually update the Nimbus client in the meantime. The graffiti writer had a bug, but there's a way to fix it, and then in 1.6.1 that'll be fixed also. And then Teku archive mode version 1.6.0 ships with the Teku running in archive mode, which allows it to keep historical states around so they can be queried later. This is required in order to generate Merkle tree rewards, but some VPS users have noticed that it requires an extra IOPS and their systems are having difficulty keeping up, resulting in a few missed attestations. So Joe's also providing a fix for that. If you use Teco, you should check out this announcement here. And if you're using Nimbus as well, you can update your client manually by following the instructions in the announcement. Next, we have a vote in the governance, Rocket Pool's governance that's come up. It's about community resolutions and voting for RPIP 4. So it says this proposal does two things: formally introduces components that are already part of your snapshot and voting process, and provides a structure for how votes must flow and how they're recommended to flow. So it just gives a little bit more structure around how the whole process of getting a issue 2 vote is and how it should go through. So it gives some more details here about how that's happening. So this vote is actually the most contentious vote that Rocket Pool has had so far, in that we have 566 tokens against and 2,100 tokens for. So it's around 80% to 20% pretty much. It looks like it will hit quorum, but we'll find out in the next couple of days. It's going to be running until September 6th. What's interesting is that we had Maso who voted against this, and Maso's reasoning for voting against this was about just the structure of the voting, especially around the square root power for the vote. He thinks of it as theatrics, and then also about he talked about how I should have got the post up. Let me see. He talked about how it has some shortcomings in the structure about whether community members can vote or not vote, and also about who can bring things to vote. About community members bringing things to vote, not just the team, and also team voting rights and a couple of other things as well. His post is in governance, and you can read that. But at the moment, it looks like it's heading for approval. And Ken and Joe argued that it should be. We should think of this as getting it through the door and then iterating on it later, and not that this is a finished product. So discussions will remain ongoing about this. Next, I just wanted to give you an update about the smoothing pool. So my node is now part of the smoothing pool. There are 326 nodes in the smoothing pool, which represents 1,311 mini pools. So if you have a node of any size now, it's beneficial for you. Your income will be smoother by being in the mini pool. So Thomas or any of these Patricio Marco Bacco pools here, any of these will now actually be more beneficial if they are in the more profitable if they're in the smoothing pool. So that's definitely something that's really good to hear. Next, we have Rocket Pool's bi-weekly update or fortnightly update, depending on where you are in the world. So it says Rocket Pool protocol update over the last 2 weeks. So the RETH supply has grown 3.4% to 105,000 with an annualized growth of 87%. Mini pool count has grown 1.5%, annualized growth of 38%. Effective RPL staked has declined by 0.3% to 5.72 million, annualized decline of 8%. And node operator count has grown from 2.2%. So the effective RPL stake decline is because of people, the ratio increasing since 2 weeks ago. So that number has declined because of that. The higher the ratio goes, the more ineffective the stake, the RPL becomes as it goes above 150%. So then there's version 1.6, a beta of 1.7 on Praetor at the moment. There's lots of stuff happening with Redstone and SaaS. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. Staking as a service, unit testing and design workshops, RETH integration options, APR integration options, and then governance. We had the 3 votes that passed. In integrations, we have Forte raised a governance proposal for proactive security monitoring of Rocket Pool. MakerDAO executive vote is still expected mid-September because they wanted to see how Redstone went and everything after Redstone. So media marketing, Discord server undergone a refresh, and then there's all this like other things. So Jasper's been officially welcomed as a paid contributor to Rocket Pool in the role of community advocate and all these other things. And finally, a community member launched a series of short daily video updates on YouTube called Rocket Fuel. So I got a shout out in the bi-weekly update also. A lot of things that we just talked about here in this bi-weekly update were actually in Jasper's community call yesterday. And at the end of the community call, I got a really nice shout out from the team and a lot of love on Discord as well. So I really appreciated that. What's really funny, I found it really funny, was that I've never once asked for subscribers on this channel so far, or likes or thumbs up, so like hit the bell icon or any of that kind of stuff. I've never ever uttered those words. And I had Maverick and Jasper saying that over and over again, so it was really funny. But I really appreciate like all the kindness that I've gotten from the team and from the community and all my viewers, and I really appreciate you all. So this is the kind of thing that keeps me going and keeps me wanting to make more of these episodes. Next, we have the issue with the SaaS buyout, staking as a service buyout issue. So I didn't understand it. So I said, can someone explain what this is? I'm not understanding. So Jasper said, hard to say since the implementation details aren't really known. There was going to be a feature at launch that made it easy for people to go in and out of positions and not have any time commitments, both on the SaaS depositor side and the SaaS validator side. This feature was based around the ability to buy out or take over the staking position of another validator, roughly. This has some edge case issues and now may or may not make it into the initial release of SaaS. This shouldn't be too big of an issue though, as I believe solutions are being discussed, and even without a solution, time restrictions probably won't be felt by users. And then going on from that, Nick S replied and says Jasper covered that well, and then goes on to explain the issues a little bit more and some discussions that are taking place about making that be less of an issue on the Noah Discord, which I don't know if any of you are members of, but it's a Node Operator Association Discord where there's an idea of building a professional node operator service on top of the Rocket Pool software system, which is really, really great and something I'm very excited about hopefully being part of one day. It says check out the professional node operator chat channel on that. So this is essentially we create a number of Supernode buckets at different levels of collateralization, and people can move in and out of that. So then that kind of ties into this screenshot that Joe shared today. He says I have permission to share this now. And it's like the coding for Rocket Supernode Manager lock, and then it's got like some lines of code in there. So the idea is that people will be able to deposit ETH, other people will be able to deposit RPL, and all of that will go to someone who will stake it. And we're not exactly sure how that will work, but at the moment it most likely will work by validators, current node operators finding people to stake with them instead of Rocket Pool as a protocol giving them people to stake with them. So it won't be like, I can just opt into the service and I suddenly start running mini pools for other people. It's more like that I have like my friend Bob and John and Tom who will give me their ETH and RPL and I'll stake it on their behalf in a trustless way. So it's slightly different from regular it's slightly different from being like a Lido node operator or something like that, where Lido gives you the ETH for you to stake. But it's definitely something that it's going to really help adoption for people who want trusted node operators to run their pools for them, their mini pools for them, and they don't have the infrastructure to run it themselves. So this is really, really great to see. And I think we covered a lot of those things that I wanted to today as the main highlights anyway, but I wanted to add something about trading and this Discord channel that kind of came up in the spaces yesterday about how Rocket Fuel is kind of like an update of everything that happens in the previous 24 hours. So I wanted to say that it really isn't. And sure, I'm here every day and I give you an update of what's happened in the previous 24 hours, but there's so much richness that is included in this community that is just impossible to capture. And for me to capture all of that would be like a 2-hour video of me just going through the Discord and reading it all to you. There's a lot of humor in here. There's a lot of like shit posting in here. And some of that's valuable, from a community cohesion perspective. It may not be valuable to you as a person who just wants to like get all the highlights, but that's the stuff in the middle that really adds value to the community and really like lets everything shine. Like overnight there were a lot of posts about Vitalik and the picture that was posted of him on Twitter, and some of that was kind of cringy, some of it was kind of funny, but like just people talking about things that are not related to Rocket Pool, the protocol, or trading. Well, people never talk about trading in trading really, but that kind of stuff really adds a lot of color to the community, for better or worse. And I try to touch on that sometimes, but I can't really share as much of that with you as I'd like to. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Like there really is value for you to come here yourself and contribute and read what others are saying and not just rely on what I'm telling you, because I'm censoring. So yeah, to get the full uncensored version, you'll have to come here yourself and find out what's going on. But on that note, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. I'm channeling my inner Vitalik by wearing really bright and strange colors. It's a tie-dye shirt that I made with my son, so he has a matching one. But have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.